habits that you create, it becomes innate. That discipline don't stop. It doesn't even matter what you major right now. Your life matters. You understand? Nobody's actually telling you what the fire feels like. I like to feel my environment. I like the vibe. And when you say something with your mouth, no one else can stop you. I have a thing right now that I always tell myself is, I'm becoming. You're on your way to becoming. How you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Right now, you guys need to start asking yourself, what are your principles? What's your characteristic? What is something that you want to make sure that you have and you want to master? You want that to very well define you so that anytime you go somewhere, this person say, I know this person. I know what this person brings to the table. You can be doing business, you can be doing medicine, but if I'm meeting a patient right now and I'm saying I'm this doctor that thinks he knows everything, oh, the patient is coming to me because he or she is sick. It doesn't matter what I say about the person's illness. How I treat the person in that interaction is going to tell them, hey, I like this doctor, I want to come back. Because that doctor had a particular principle and characteristic. So when I say that, it doesn't really matter what you major right now. You guys are just doing a major, you're just preparatory. You're on your way to becoming. I have a thing right now that I always tell myself is, I'm becoming. And you may look at me and say, oh man, this guy's about to get a doctor. No, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean nothing. Like what you're gonna become, it doesn't mean you're gonna be that anyway. Like I said, I'm not coming here, I'm not preaching anything different than I'm just in the same journey like you guys are in. My job today is to make sure that I'm able to display exactly undiluted truths, because sometimes, you might see people that make it and are successful, you look at them and have a white coat, nobody's actually telling you what the fire feels like. You understand? I'm gonna tell you exactly what the fire feels like, the reality of what you're gonna go through. You may be doing things right now and then you may be in RAs and things like that, and the first time you finally see a C, and you worked so hard, you slept, you didn't go to sleep at night, and you took a test, and you got a C. And like you're gonna call your parents and say, I stayed up all night. I read everything they told me to read. I haven't had an old exam, I still got a C. See me, I took the MCAT. I took the MCAT, and the first time I took it, I kind of barely studied, but I paid for a course. I did exam practice, and I scored a 21. So I'm like, okay, you know what, that's fine. Now I know the test. I kind of ran out of time when I was doing it. I was like, now I know the test, I'm going to study for it and take me in. Study for it harder the second time, I did worse. I got a 14, so I'm like, okay, I've taken it, the maximum sometimes you can afford to take it in a cycle is twice because you have to study. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to apply with that first score I had. So I paid for that, I got rejected to all schools. And I'm like, it's not a problem. So the next cycle, I'm going to study for it again. The third time I took it, I got a 15. So it's like I'm walking backwards, now I'm walking forward again. I'm like 15. I wasn't scoring that on my practice exams. I was scoring like 28s and 30s. I was feeling good. Every time I take it, I'm like, I know I killed it. I get my score back, it's not looking like I thought it felt like. That's not how it was looking like. So, especially that third time was the biggest blow. Because you have different sections. One of the verbals, I got a 1. I got a 1. You only get a 1. People tell me you get a 1 only because you just logged in. You just logged into that section. I went through the whole section, answered a question, I got a 1. When I looked at it, I was like, what? I called him, I was like, no. I was like, I'm African, so one of the first things you always think is like, nah, the devil. I'm like, nah, this has to be, because it's like, this is definitely some type of curse or something. Two weeks after that, my grandpa passed, and that was another blow around that time. So I graduated, I was trying to stay positive. And the one thing I did around this time was just always stay positive. Don't allow negativity to kind of like take over. Again, the reason I'm telling you guys this story in combination is I just want to show you that where I am right now as an individual is more to that goal than just saying to get to that goal. Your life matters, you understand? Your life, who you're going to become matters. and your journey to who you become is what's selling every single time you meet people in your life. Don't say I want to be a doctor. Just because you want to be a doctor. What you want to be a doctor for? Because you want to drive a car, you want to do all this, and you want to. Doctors ain't well off. Not all doctors are well off. After I graduated, I started studying for the 4th time. So I'm like, now I can kind of break this test down. I'm at home, back home, just sitting there studying. Finally took the test. Then I got my score. I only did 3 points higher. I got 18. I looked at it from the positives. I was saying, okay, 3 points. I don't know if y'all Christian, but I was like, man, 3 points, that's the Trinity. I'm looking at things positive for it. I'm just like, okay, well, at least that's good, But the bad part is, with your score, you only have your top 3 scores that's going to stay up there. So the 21 that I had the first time where I barely tried, that's my best, is now erased. So you kind of be like, man, school's not going to remember 21. My medical life is actually probably done. I don't know what to do. Like, my back is really against the wall. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then that's why I decided, I'm just gonna apply to Caribbean school. Same time, then after I finished these applications, my dad sat with me. He was like, hey, so just try to study for it again. You never know, you might do better, and you might have to forego going out there. At this time, I felt like I was slavery to everybody. Anyone who's telling me what to do, I'm like, fine, I'll do that. That everything that you do, you need to dedicate on prayer. Every single thing that you do, because you guys haven't faced any pressure yet. This whole time, all I was been saying is, if school just give me an interview, don't look at my application, give me an interview, let me show you. That's all I ever wanted. 2 weeks after I wrote that prayer, I sat down, then I get my first phone call from my school that I'm at right now. They called me and said, hey, we see that you have an application for August. I got accepted, went to SGU. Ever since then, I've never looked back. You're always going to hear certain things. For example, like, I'm going to be looked at as an international medical graduate, right? You got more hurdles to climb. Because I really became a machine. Like, this story I'm telling you, me able to tell you, share with you guys, this is the reason why I went through what I went through. Because if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't be telling you this story right now. I wouldn't be the person that they would have found and say, oh, I see him sharing his story. I want him to come speak to that. That's why when you realize your life is going to become a life of a provider, you providing care to somebody out there who has diabetes, who got gangrene in their feet because their nerves ain't working anymore. And when you ask yourself why, you're going to remind yourself of that reason when the things get hard. I know people that I was studying for the MCAT with at that time, they're not in medical school anymore. They wanted to go to med school, but the MCAT was something that they were like, man, I can't go through it. Whatever it is. These are major exams that people got to take. And I always say I want to talk to people who are going to take these tests and let you know, figure out what it is and don't ever let a test. You understand? Don't ever let a test or some scores or whatever it is determine who you're going to be. When I get my doctorate, it's not because of the test I took. It's because I decided, you understand, to go through it. I decided to say, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be this. You say that with your mouth. And when you say something with your mouth, no one else can stop you. If your friend's calling you to go out and you gotta test the right, that's not your friend. Your friend's supposed to say, hey, stay in, you got a dream to achieve. That's the kind of friends you need to have. That's that character building. Why I say that? Because that's who you are. That's who you are. And every single time you go through the door, that's who you selling. So anytime you go for an interview, they're gonna be like, man, I see that. That's a man of character. Because once you practice these things so much, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a ritual. You don't wait till you actually embark on the journey to start doing that. You know what I'm saying? The habits you create, when it becomes innate, when something is innate about you, it's in your DNA, you can only become that. You gotta start saying to yourself, I am going to be, as opposed to I want to. Wanting something is different than getting something. You understand? You always want something. I want to eat food. In order to go eat, you gotta go work to go eat. You You gotta work to get the keys, the money, everything that you want to get you through. I want to know that every single one of y'all in here are gonna look back and say, I came from a certain state, a certain place in my home, a certain country. I have a purpose that's bigger than what I'm gonna be at. Actually, where I'm gonna go is for the fact that it's gonna give me opportunity to touch more people. You understand? Where you're gonna be is gonna give you opportunity to touch more people, because your life is already purpose. You need to find what's your main purpose. Who am I? Who am I? Because when you have a purpose and who you are, it doesn't matter how hard a test is. Almost all my tests in medical school, I stayed up all night. All night. All night. Listen, one of the major things I'll leave with you guys, write down your goals. Like list it. List it. Put it in some type of order so that you can have a sequence in your mind what you're trying to knock off. Because, you know, as long as you have order, then at least you know that if God says you can't do this one, you know that you can't do that. You know that you have to change the path. You know, you keep that in focus all the time. You know, because it pains me, you know, when I see people give up. It pains when I see people give up. But I realize that if I don't give up, I'm a self-study for those people that gave up to show them that it's possible. So right now I'm here telling you that if you take it once, if you take it twice, if you take it 3 times, if you take it 4 times, you can take it 5 more times, you can take it 6 more times, you can take it 7 more times, you can take it 8 more times, 9 more times, 10 more times. Because if you have 1% chance to go through the eye of a needle, you better give 110% chance, effort to go through that needle. Because go through the eye of the needle is very slim. If you only got 1% chance to go through it, you better make sure you give all the energies that you have, because that's still an opportunity to go through that. Because no one going to heaven is not going to be that easy. And I know today, none of y'all can say, I know for sure I'll be going to heaven. So if that type of effort you're not giving to your grind, your focus in your life where you're trying to go, it's going to try you exactly the same way. You know, so I want to let you guys know that you guys will be successful, and I hope that whenever you become successful, that you're doing what you're doing, that you're also talking to somebody younger than you that's trying to achieve the same thing and help them get there. My name is Anthony Waken. I'm only a third-year medical student and still becoming. Thank you guys so much.